Vishal Bhai, Jai Janendra once again, and welcome to the third lecture of the Global Paryushan series, where we are going to be hearing Dr. Bipin Doshi speak about Who Am I? To introduce Dr. Doshi, may I request Dilip V. Shah, the past president of JAINA and the chairman of Overseas Relations Committee at JAINA, to please introduce him. Over to you, Dilip ji.
Jai Janendra, for the 2023 Paryushan, China is very happy to present first Global Paryushan Parva hosted by Dr. Bipin Doshi. The theme for the series of lectures is Jainism Simplified. Dr. Bipin Doshi is truly a multifaceted personality. As much as he is passionate about teaching Jainism, he is also a socially active person. He is a founder of, secretary, and ex-VP of Jito, Honorable VP of Viratan, founder of Borivali Blood Bank and Doshi Maternity Nursing Home, the facility famous for any sadhus without discrimination based on which sect they are and needing medical attention freely in suburban Mumbai for more than 40 years, having served over 2,200 of our sadhvi Bhagavans. His topic today will cover the eternal question of us all. Who am I? I present to you Dr. Bipin Doshi.
Thank you, Dilip ji, for introducing. Over to you, Uncle.
Thank you very much, all of you. First of all, I'll take just 1 minute to thank Jaina for providing this platform. Also, my technical team, Dimen Bhai, Dhruti, Vishal, Amol, Kavita, and many more, who has been helping me to present this series of lectures during our Paryushan 2023. My today's topic is Who Am I? I'll just share these slides. Okay. Again, Sadar Jai Jinara to all of you. Friends, when we study any philosophy, especially Indian philosophies, we talk a lot about who is Siddhas or who are liberated souls. We also talked about Paramatma. We do talk about various other enlightened human beings like our rishis, Gandharas, and Tirthankaras, etc. Today, I just want to focus that yes, we are potentially the people who can reach to the eternal bliss. I don't want to use the word moksha because it's quite confusing for most of you. But let's say that there is a state in which one can achieve an eternal bliss. And that state is called moksha. Whether we call it moksha, mukti, nirvana, they are almost all the similar words. Obviously, the nirvana of Buddhism is a bit different. In Hinduism, mukti is a bit different. In Jainism, the moksha is a bit different. But at the same time, one component is very common, and that is there is an eternal bliss. But today, I'm going to focus not only those kind of things, but I'm going to focus who am I? Actually, let me understand my present existence. I cannot understand the existence which I'm supposed to have the goal of unless and until I understand my present existence. In Uttradhyan Sutra, there is third chapter, which talks about four things which are rare to happen, or four rare things which are also known as durlabha. The first durlabh is a human life. The second durlabh is dharma shravan. That means you have an opportunity to learn and understand the spirituality, or let me put the word dharma. See, there are many people who even do not have this opportunity. All the people who are joining here, who are joining not on the Zoom also and on the YouTube. And I'm very happy to say that more than 1,000 people are seeing this pravachan every day. We are fortunate. I'm doing a swadhyay and you are listening to swadhyay. So it's not that I'm teaching you something and you are learning something. No, we are all collectively doing swadhyay. So we have a second durlabh available, or second rare thing is happening in our life. And that is, we have a chance, we have an opportunity, and we have an inclination to understand what is dharma. This is the second most important thing. The third thing is known as faith or shraddha. I don't want to use the word faith, sorry. Shraddha. Shraddha is, that means now I believe it. Not only I believe it, I have a strong conviction about it. And that is the third rare thing which can happen in our life. And the fourth rare thing is that, yes, I am a human being. One, I have an opportunity to learn and understand dharma. Second, I have a faith into that, or I have a strong conviction about that. But fourth, I'm putting that into practice also, which is called sanyama. These four kind of rare things are not easily available. And the first and foremost thing is, who am I? Am I Dr. Bipin Doshi? Yes. Am I a human being? Yes. Am I now, Indian? Yes. So I can identify myself in so many ways. But obviously, today we are not talking about the Aadhaar card or PAN card. Today we'll be talking about what exactly am I? In the whole universe, I want to identify what is my state, what is my status, what is my identity. So when I start the word, who am I? Let's understand that we talk quite a lot about so many things. There might be a doctor who might say, I know everything about diabetes. There might be an engineer who might say that I know everything about artificial intelligence. There might be a person who might say that, okay, I know everything which is related to language and things like that. We know what is existing outside, but we are supposed to also know that who is the knower of that. See, the whole science of Jainism is focusing on not on what is to be known, not what is existing. It's on that what makes you to feel that something exists. So without knowing the knower, all the knowledge that we gather cannot be valid. See, the world exists, but world exists not only outside, the world exists within me. What I see is the world. See, the word is there, yes, obviously. But see, if I don't see them, I cannot understand anything. So actually, what's happening outside is also happening inside. And why it is happening inside? Because there is a knower inside. And in our spiritual language, we call it Atma, we call it spirit, we call it Ruh. We may use so many words. But you should know who is a knower, and to know about it. I am competent enough. I, as a human being, is competent enough to understand who is a knower. Unfortunately, we do not focus on who is a knower. Now, when we talk about who am I, the first thing which goes in my mind is that I am rare. When I use the word I, we all mean we are rare. Okay? Rare in terms of what? First of all, rare in terms of number. You might say that, my God, we are more than 700 crores. And how can we be rare? Think about it. Suppose you take 1 spoon of curd and you count how many bacteria are there, which we call lactobacillus. They are in not millions, but they are in trillions. You just take, a living being. There are so many living beings are there, like viruses, like bacteria, and minute microorganisms. On one small spot, you can find them into hundreds, thousands, and millions. So if you consider the whole universe, and if you consider the living being existing in this universe, we can say that we are a very, very, very small in number, though we might be 700 crores. So in number, we are rare. Now let's examine in the space. How big is the space? We live on a Earth, which is a part of the solar system. Solar system, our solar system, sun, is a medium-sized star of a galaxy which is known as a Milky Way galaxies. There are such billions of galaxies having such billions of stars. And again, the whole universe is expanding, ever expanding universe. So if you consider the space which we occupy, which we means even our Earth occupies, is a very, very small, you can say even less than a drop in ocean. And in that particular Earth, we are there. That means in terms of space, we are rare. The third thing, number we are rare, space we are rare. Let's understand time. The infinite time has gone, infinite time will come. And during that period, in that infinite time, there's a very small time. I may live for 80 years or 90 years. Some of you may live for 100 years. Now consider what is that 100 years in the infinite time. Again, it's not even microscopic. So in terms of time also, I am rare. Now consider that in the whole universe, we haven't found anywhere yet that there is a human being existing. So we are rare. Even if you consider the lifespan of Earth itself scientifically, science says that Earth is going to be there for about 10 billion years. Already 5.5 billion years have passed, and another 4.5 billion years are yet to pass. There was a time when there was no living being. There is going to be a time when there is not going to be living being. Only in a small span of time, there will be a living being on this Earth, because prior to that, it was a hot star. Now it is going to be a cold star. So in terms of time on the Earth also, we are rare. Think about it, how rare we are in terms of space, in terms of time, in terms of number. And yet, we do not realize the importance of our human life. I'm unique. We are all unique. Is there anybody who is like you? No. Was there anybody like you? No. Is there going to be anybody like you? No. Yes, there might be some people who might resemble your face. It's usually said that there is possibility that two to three people in the world may resemble your face, but your thumb impression will not be same. Your cornea will not be same. Your height may not be same. So everybody is unique. What usually we say that you are only one copy, or you are one unit. There is no copying of yours. So we are all unique. There is no duplication, or there is no replica of ourselves. Do you all agree, I suppose? Have you understood that we are all unique? We are chosen one. Why do I say I'm chosen one? I have just given you some figure over here, which says that out of many, you are the chosen one. But scientifically, let me explain you that science has proved, because I'm a doctor, I know about it, that for one sperm to be chosen by the ovum, you require about 20 millions of the sperms. I'm talking about 20 million. Out of 20 million, one sperm is chosen by your mother, and that is you, or that is me. I understand that out of millions, you have chosen one. Think, there were so many others to be chosen, but they were not chosen. You were chosen. So we are all chosen one. We all have 5 well-sensed, well-developed senses. There are one sensed organism to 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not only that, we have 5 sensed organisms. Not that we are only 5 sensed organism. We have extremely well-developed senses. See, whenever we talk about ourselves, we talk, okay, how big is my house? How big is my business? How big is my property? How big I am in the society? We talk about all those things. But do we realize basically that we are unique, we are rare, we are really having 5 well-developed senses? Biologically speaking, we are the most advanced biological creation. Intellectually speaking, we are most intellectual creation. By consciousness, we are the most developed creation, where there is a most well-developed consciousness. I have a superb mind. We all have a superb mind. Think about it. Today, we are creating so many technological advances, so many things which we would have never thought about. Obviously, Chandrayaan has gone on the moon, and now we are aiming for the sun. Fine. The most advanced mind, intellect we possess. We have excellent power of communication. And this is just a small brief which I would try to tell you that one scientist tried to find out that if I want to create a human body, I'm only talking about hardware, not the software, not the consciousness within it. It will cost him $5 trillion, just a hardware. And if you consider the life of 80 years of a human being, that means each second is 5 crore of rupees. Each second is 5 crore of rupees. Nobody in the world earned 5 crore of rupees. And that also, this is the body which you can make, which is lifeless. Though it is, it's a speculative, but yes, there is some base of making this. We have a user's manual. We have Agam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. We have wonderful organs. Look at our eyes, look at our ears, look at our heart, look at our liver. Each organ of us is so important, so vital. If you ask an ophthalmologist, he can describe the eye in volumes and volumes. If you ask a person who is a liver specialist, he can describe liver into, again, few volumes of the books and how they work extremely so well. Your intestine works throughout your life. Your heart works throughout your life. Your brain works throughout your life. Your kidney works throughout your life. And kidney has got 1 lakh filters each. Such a sophisticated filters. 500 million liters of blood is pumped in our life. 500 million liters. And that also is continuous. Heart wouldn't say that, okay, let me take some rest, now I'm tired. If he's tired, you are gone. If you take the blood vessels which are present in our body and put them into the network, it will cover 60,000 miles. And most important, 100 million. I hope you know what do you mean by 100 million. 1 million is 10 lakhs. 100 million neurons. This is 1,000 lakhs. That is, if you divide it by crore, 10 crore neurons work every second. That is what our body is all about. We have sometimes, not understood. We have neglected our health like anything. We are neglecting the great, precious gift which nature has given us. How we, treat our body with junk food, with the food which we are not supposed to take, kind of the pollution which we create, kind of the mental stress which we are creating. We don't care for our body. Usually, we care for so many things. Obviously, nowadays, at least youngsters are, better than what we were. They try to take care of their body much better. Focus should be not only in what I earn. Health is wealth. Health should be good. And whatever you may invest in so many things, equal investment should be done in taking care of your health. So that's a human body. But now problem starts. Human body has many diseases. Yes, physical diseases, mental diseases, and there are reasons of that. There are some genetic diseases. There are the diseases we produce. There are diseases which we produce because of our lifestyle. But here, I would like to tell you some more diseases which we have found recently. One which we call SAD, screen addictive syndrome. Go to anybody's house. There are 5 people sitting, and you'll find all 5 of them on their screen. Go to just look around when you are traveling in your bus or traveling in your train. People around are on screen and so addictive that every 2 minutes they try to see whether some message has come. I always saying in a jocular way that yes, we are going to get a message from PMO's office, Prime Minister office, and it must have written that if you don't answer within 5 minutes, your reward is gone. So we want to see it every 5 minutes. That's what the habit we have developed. Another one is called FOMO, fear of missing out. Why not me? A small child looks at the TV and sees that one actress is wearing a dress which is costing 10 lakhs of rupees, 20 lakhs of rupees. And, then she said, why not me? That's what's happening. The third thing which I always say is taxophenia. There are people who just get a message and forward it. Nothing. They don't even read the message properly and they try to forward it. They are forward specialists, what I always call WhatsApp University. And because of this, there's so many things. Why not me? So these are the kind of the new diseases which we see nowadays. However, let's understand, I'm unique. I've got 5 developed sensual senses. I've got extremely good mind, extremely good communication. All that is there, and still, let us ask ourselves, am I happy with so much I have? If not, why? I've got so much. Nature has given me something which is so important, so vital, so precious, but still, most of us, if you ask them, how is everything? The usual answer will be, I have this problem, I have that problem. Unfortunately, the human mind is searching not the happiness. We always search unhappiness. We always try to find out, even so many good things are there. And if there is some small thing which is not so good, we focus on that. Okay, I don't have that. I'm missing that. Or this is a problem. But friends, we have got so many good things. Why think about something which is a small one or it's okay. So the human mind is such that in spite of having so many things, we are usually unhappy. And here comes our spirituality, that why am I unhappy? We are unhappy because of 4 sangyas, natural instinct, which we cannot control. Every living being has to have the natural instinct. It's a part of our living being or part of our being. But we do not control the 4 kind of natural instinct. Let's see that this natural instinct, the other small organisms like animals and insects may not be able to control because they do not have that super mind to control them. But however, the human mind can control these 4 instincts. What are the 4 instincts? In Jainism, we call it Ahar Sangya, Vai Sangya, Maithun Sangya, and Parigraha Sangya. Ahar is related to food. Bhaya is related to security or the fear. Maithun is related to the sensory pleasure. I'm sorry, I don't want to use the word sensual pleasure, but the sensory pleasure, all types of pleasures, which includes the sensual pleasure. And Parigraha is possessiveness. think about these four words in your life: food, my security, my desires of various kinds of entertainment, and my idea or my desire to possess as much as I can. This is the most important cause of being unhappy. Few more causes. These are the natural instinct. They are addictive, and they most of the time increase. They are increasing most of the time. Once you get into those kind of instinct, uncontrolled, you land up with certain kind of mental problem. You land up with certain kind of evil passions. And these passions are when you don't meet your requirement, when you don't meet what we mean, when you cannot satisfy your natural instinct, you get into an state of anger or you get angry. When you accomplished all this, okay, I wanted to have 1 million, I wanted to have 5 million, I wanted to be like this, I wanted to be like that. Once that is accomplished, you develop ego. And now, sometime to sustain this level of my possession or my position, what I do, I try to even indulge into something which is not ethical, which I call deceit, cheating, a type of cheating. You know what? Some people ask me, what is this cheating? Cheating is very simple. You speak something different, you do something different, and you think something different. That means your mind, your speech, and your body activities are not synchronizing with each other. That's called Maya or deceit. And obviously, the last one is to greed, to have more and more. The most important problem with all of us is greed. Obviously, it has been very well said that nature has given us everything for the need, but it can never satisfy your greed. More the greed, more is going to be our happiness. And friends, if somebody asks me that, can you explain Jainism in a simple word, or can I practice Jainism in a simple word? I just tell them that take a piece of paper, write only 4 words: anger, ego, deceit, and greed. And at the bottom, you write, these are my important enemies, or these are my important causes of unhappiness and miseries and obstacles in my life. A simple learning. You need not, I'm sorry, but I don't want to tell you that. You need not, I mean, it's all right if you can do a worship or not. It's all right if you can do upvas or not. It's all right if you can use the boiled water or not. It's all right if you cannot do or do Ratri Bhoj. Those things are not so important. What is important? Important is the kashai. Important is the vibhava of my soul. I should always remain in Swabhav. Yesterday I talked about Swabhav and Vibhav. I want to be in forgiveness, in state where I forgive everybody. I want to be, egolessness. I want to be straightforward, Namra, and I want to be satisfied person, not to greed, not to have the greed, and not to think about having many things. Again, friends, 4 words, frame it. Keep it wherever you want to keep it, in your house, where you can read it daily, and just contemplate on that these 4 are my enemies, which is causing all the problem, whether it is a mental problem, whether it is a physical problem, whether it is a social problem, whether it is the problem of my relationship with my family, with my wife, with my friends, everything. Underneath, when you see where you have got a problem or a misery or a problem with your relationship, one of these factors or more than one of these factors will be always present. And that's why understanding these 4 evil called passions, in Jainism they are called kashaya. Karmic particle, which I was explaining yesterday, will get attached to your soul only if you have a kashai. If you have no kashai, karmic particle cannot enter your soul or cannot be bonded with your soul. Akashai jivas can never imbibe karmic particle. I imbibe karmic particle only and only because these passions work like a glue. It's a very simple example they are giving. That suppose there is a wall and you throw the dust on the wall. But if the wall is shining, it's very clean, no dust will get attached to it. And suppose you put some oil on that and then throw the dust, all the dust will get attached. Why? That oil is like kashai. My soul, if it is pure, without any kashai, karmic particle cannot damage me, cannot do anything to me. And removing them, removing this kashai to attain the eternal happiness or maximum happiness. Let's not use the word eternal happiness. I want to be happy, maximum possible. My main aim is moksha, but may not be possible. But at least I can go towards it. I can travel as much as I can. I'll just give you a simple example. Suppose I want to be like Mukesh Bhai Ambani, right? I may not reach to that stage, but I can go a little near to that with the activities which I am doing. So here my goal is to reach moksha, which is ultimate happiness, which is an eternal happiness, which is complete happiness. Okay, I may not reach to that stage, but I can at least try to reach as much as I can. And to reach to that state by controlling my kashai, which is anger, ego, deceit, and greed, is the purpose of dharma. Dharma is nothing more than that. Yesterday also I gave you definition. The simple meaning of dharma is vattu sahavo dhammo. To stay in the swabhava or to stay in the nature which I possess inherently. Or you can also use the simple word to explain dharma is duty, my duty to others. Non-violence is my duty to others. My duty to myself is to purify myself. I purify myself and I help others. My dharma is over that. I mean, all other things are rituals. I may do it, I may not do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Don't take me otherwise. But I'm trying to say that what is important, your rituals are there, but what's more important is what am I doing for others? How much I am helping the others? How much compassion I have in my heart? How much I work by which I make this planet better place to live? That is what I'm supposed to do for others. How much do I take care of the air? How much do I take care of the earth? How much care do I take for the plants? How much care I'm taking for the animals? How much care I'm taking for all living beings in this universe? That is dharma. And at the same time, how much purification I have in myself? How much, the evil things which I'm possessing, I'm taking it out. So dharma is duty to myself and duty to others. And simply, our happiness is inversely proportional to the intensity of our passions. More are the passions, more will be unhappiness. Less will be the passions, more will be the unhappiness. So remember, if you really want to be happy, it's not what car you use, it's not what all that properties you have. The happiness will only come if you control your passions. In practice, Jainism is very simple. I'm not right from first day I've been telling you that to practice Jainism is very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not a difficult proposition. Just simply, what do? Ahimsa. What is ahimsa? Maximum non-violence. And in practice, not to kill any organism which is more than 2 sensed to 5 sensed intentionally. Again, see, very simpler. Sankalpi hinsa. You cannot do anything intentionally. By mistake, it can happen, for which you can do prayashchit or what we call the repentance or pratikraman. As far as the one-sensed organisms are concerned, I have to see that I have minimum damage to them. It's because we cannot possibly live without violence of the one-sensed organism. We need water, we need food, we need air, because these are described as the living beings in Jainism. and we cannot live without them. But here we have to think of that how much minimum water I use, how much minimum plants I destroy, how much minimum pollution of the air I do. So here I have to think about minimalism as far as the violence to the one-sensed organism is concerned. Obviously, for two-sensed and more sensed organism, there is no place of doing any violence intentionally. Now, here, I just would like to mention that in Jainism, our concept of ahimsa is very extensive in the sense that we respect even one sensed organism. There's no religion in the world which talks about having a life in life, having a air itself is a life, water itself is a life, plant itself is a life, earth itself is a life. Okay, scientists may dispute about it. We don't want to go into that dispute whether they believe it or not. Ultimately, all these four things are very important for our own survival. Earth is important, water is important, plant is important, air is important, light is important. So we respect them and we want to preserve them. We don't want to be violent to these things. That is called ahimsa. However, as I mentioned in the previous slide, what is ahimsa is also destroying my own virtues, my virtue of forgiveness, my virtue of straightforwardness, my virtue of humility, my virtue of satisfaction. These are my important virtues. Destroying this virtue is called so known as hinsa or violence. So I want to do non-violence, what is possible as far as the external things are concerned and what is possible as far as my internal thing is concerned. Aparigraha, minimum possession. See, friends, I usually use the word alpa parigraha. Though our scripture word is aparigraha, I would like to use the word aparigraha, alpa parigraha, because we cannot stay without having certain requirements in our life. I mean, you can't say that, okay, don't hold a car. You can't say that, okay. I mean, there are certain things which are required for our day-to-day life. So, but ideally, what we have to do is alpa parigraha. That means try to use minimum required things in your life. And on the first day, I very clearly mentioned that parigraha leads to more production. More production leads to natural resources depletion. And the second most important, whatever you do, whenever there is an increase in production, it is bound to affect the climate. So minimalism is not a religion. Minimalism is a social concern. Minimalism is an economical concern. Minimalism is a concern of the climate. Minimalism is a concern about my own mental attitude. The person who lives with minimum is always praised. I'll tell you, if you find somebody who is very simple, suppose there's a big party and one lady enters, she's very simple, well dressed, but very simple. Everybody would look at her. And at the end of the day, people would talk about the simplicity, not about somebody who is wearing gorgeous things. So ultimately, remember in life that people appreciate simplicity. And obviously, when you try to show something that I have got so much things, people might, appreciate in front of you, but at the back of his mind, usually they are jealous. Usually, they feel, why not me? They would feel that, oh my God, this man has collected all this wealth by doing some unfair means. So again, having a life where you have a minimum possession is very important. But Jainism goes one step further and it says that if you have a punya, you are bound to get the enormous wealth, because you have earned that punya in your past lives. So somebody might ask me that, what do I do with so much wealth, which though I want it or do not want it, because of my punya, I am getting it. And there Tirthankar Mahavir has used a beautiful word, punyanubandhi punya. That means if there is a fruition of punya, you use all those resources for the meritorious activities or for the punya. Anekant, respect and maximum tolerance to others' view to control our evil passions. I'll tell you, friends, one thing which I have been noting recently when I meet our young children or youth, I find that there's a lack of resilience, which definitely we had in our life. Today, very important, word they started using, who cares? I don't care. Why? These are the things which are happening. Obviously, this is a big challenge for most of the parents, how to, control this kind of culture which is coming up. And, like when we were youngsters, young, or when we were in our life, or most of many of you who are seniors, we know that we have faced many adversities and we have gone through, but when where our parents used to say that, okay, don't do like this, we used to believe them. Today's generation is very different. That resilience is absolutely, going down and down. So these are some of the points which we have to understand our own existence of who am I and what we are going to be there in the future. Now, the how do I, and now my focus is eternal peace. And how do I get this eternal peace? And Tirthankar Paramatma has very nicely have given us certain steps of how to reach to this eternal peace. Though I have not mentioned over here, the first very simple step is called Marganusari. There are 35 rules prescribed in our scripture which talks about how good you should be as a human being. Now, what kind of take care which you are supposed to take of your elders, how much tax you are supposed to pay to how much social activity or what kind of social activity you should do. Suppose you are earning money, what are the means of earning the money? How will you use the money? How will you take care of your family? These are the simple rules which are given, which is called Marganusari. First is to be a good human being. Go to second stage, which I call Vyavahar Bhavna. Bhavna is a continuous mental contemplation. You should always imbibe these four characteristics of having Maitri, friendship to everybody. Not only friendship to your friends or known people, but each and every living being of this universe should be looked at as your friend. And if you see that everything around us is our friend or our friends, then you never indulge into any kind of violence. So Maitri is a word which denotes non-violence or non-hurting any other living being. The second, which is very important step in our life, is Pramod. Pramod is appreciation, but not, like appreciation for the wrong things. There are people who are virtuous, and appreciating the virtuous people, bowing down to the virtuous people, learning from the virtuous people. And even there might be a person who might have one or two virtues. Appreciating those virtues is called Pramod Bhavna. And I'll tell you very frankly, you might have a person who is your servant. You might have a person who may be your driver. He might be a person who is, like working for you. You must try to find out the virtues in them. Unfortunately, we don't try to find out the virtues in the people who are subordinate to us. We usually try to find out the faults with them, or what they do not possess, or what bad things they have. Learning to find out the virtues of the others and also the bad virtues of mine is a second step of our spiritual elevation. Third is Karuna, compassion. Again, the compassion should not be only in mind. The compassion should be in action. And last one is Madhyastha Bhavana. What a wonderful concept Tirthankar Paramatma has given us. That yes, you will try to improve others. You will try to help others. You will try to show the path to the others. But there are people who will not believe you. There are people who will not understand you. There are people who will hate you. There are people who will say, no, this is not right. These people are unnecessarily, trying to do something which is, means they try to think as if, advising on the right path or dharma is like, somebody is doing a business of that. There are people of that kind. There also, you must remain in the equanimity. Try to improve others, but it's not necessary that you may be able to achieve it. And the equanimity is very important. You again, remember these 4 words. Write down somewhere on your diary, somewhere in your bedroom or somewhere in your how important this is for our day-to-day life. Since morning to the evening, if you continuously contemplate on this four aspect of your life would be wonderful. Again, I am trying to tell you that moksha is far ahead. Let's make our present life happy as much as we can. Then, as I told you, now if you want to go still further, Tirthankar Paramatma has shown us a right path, which is called Marganusari. From Marganusari, you start Shravakachar. In Shravakachar, 5 major Anuvratas should be remembered. Non-violence, no truth, asatya, achorya, means ahimsa, satya, achorya, brahmacharya. For people like us, we don't call brahmacharya, we call swadara santosh because we are married. So brahmacharya is not part of our life. Swadara santosh. And lastly, not aparigraha, but alpa parigraha. We should follow minimum, or we should practice minimalism. Now, after this, if you want to go further, obviously, you observe 11 pratimas, qualify yourself to become monk, and then you can become shramana. So this is a way, but this is a very difficult for most of us. At least we can reach, at least we must have the first steps and partly the second steps if you don't want to be a monk. But there are some fortunate people, there are some enlightened people who reach to the third and fourth stage, and we respect them, we bow down to them. Jo hamare Guru Bhagwan the, we really appreciate the kind of life they live and try to show us that yes, this is the kind of life which one can live. Now, this is something which I would like to share with you. And probably I shared this in the, suppose I want to say that I am a Jain. So Jain may be by birth, but there are some parameters. And if you follow these parameters, whether you are born Jain or not, you can call yourself Jain. And again, Jain is not any dharma or religion in that sense. Jainism is a way of life. The way of life in which I don't hurt anybody and nobody can dare to hurt me. I should be so strong. I sometimes, describe Jainism only in 2 sentences. I should be so strong that I don't hurt anybody. Not to hurt somebody requires strength. At the same time, I should be equally strong that nobody can hurt me. I should be equally strong that nobody can hurt me, because I should always remember that whatever is going to happen is happening because of my previous karmas. Others are nimitta. So, how do I call that I am a practicing Jain, though I may not be born Jain? See, I always feel one thing, which I would like to share with all your people, that we Jains have, thought that Tirthankar Mahavir is my Tirthankaras, our Tirthankaras. But actually, the philosophy which Tirthankar Mahavir has given is for everyone. It's not necessarily, it's not for Jain community. It's an universal. Unfortunately, we have, when I say it, this particular God is mine, or this particular Tirthankar is mine, that means other would say, okay, it's yours, it's not mine. So we have to see, now Paryushan is going on. As a Jain, I feel that what is my duty? Tirthankar Mahavir, the first thing which he did was to control or prohibit or raise his voice for the animal killing. Today, India is the largest beef exporter. And probably in few years, we will be number 1 as far as the beef and mutton is concerned, as far as the export is concerned. We are largest right now, 600 crore liter of milk production per day. And animal farming and for the milk, so much cruelty is involved there. Eggs production, so much cruelty is involved. Meat production, obviously we know the kind of the cruelty is going on. So what is my duty? as a Jain. I just sit at home, and obviously I don't want to say that we should not do all that. But is that I just do upvas and my Jainism is over? I just do some Savansari Pratikramana and my Jainism is over? Then I think I am not doing the duty which my Tirthankaras have given me. I think it's a duty of all of us, even Sadhu Bhagwan, to see that we propagate vegetarianism and try to do something on that. Now, here I would like to draw your attention that on the name of religion, you cannot make somebody vegetarian or vegan. In name of religion, it is impossible. What we are supposed to do is try to study it, try to have some research paper, and try to prove scientifically that this non-vegetarian diet is harmful to us mentally, physically, socially, and by many means. It is destroying our environment. It is destroying our land mass which we have. It is causing a greenhouse problems for our environment. So we have to teach the world, not from the religious point of view, but from the scientific point of view, that why vegetarianism should be adopted and should be a part of our life. So true Jain not only follows vegetarianism, but he also works for vegetarianism. Benevolence obviously is there in our blood, but if you still can do more and more, we should do it more. Minimalism, as I explained you just now, forgiveness, humbleness, simplicity, and satisfaction. These are the virtues which a true Jain should possess. Again, let me tell you, the person who possesses all these virtues is called Jain, irrespective whether he is born Jain or not. And if we try to put this philosophy not as a religion, not as a dharma, but as a part of our life, the life by which we can enrich ourselves, life by which, or the practice by which I can enlighten myself, then I think we'll be able to achieve something. It should be our endeavor to see that the people who do not know about Jainism or the Jain philosophy, we must make all the efforts to see that we teach them this philosophy for the betterment of life. See, we should not try to say that I want to, propagate my religion. Nobody would accept those concepts nowadays. I also shouldn't say that I want to make somebody Jain. No, that is also not possible. But yes, if you make somebody who follows the principles of Jains, then yes, we are contributing something, not to our Shasana or Jainism, but to the society itself, but to the universal self, trying to make this world as happy as possible. We have missed the train. The very basic concept of ahimsa, anekant, and aparigraha should have been the main part of our human or mankind development. But we have not been able to pursue that in spite of the teaching by our Tirthankaras. Probably this is the time when we awaken. We try to understand that what we are supposed to do as a Jain, not only for the Jain, not only for the Upashrayas, not only for the Rasarayas, but for the whole planet or everyone in this on this earth, to make a place better than what we are having right now. Thank you very much. If there is any comment from today, I will try to finish because yesterday I was complained that, sir, you are taking more time. So today I tried to finish in 1 hour. And again, as I told you that this is a simple learning. I don't want to make Jainism as because it is not a complicated thing at all. It's not a rocket science. It's a simple science of how our life should be. And I'm trying to draw those points to you. Dilip Bhai?
Yes, sir.
If you have final comments, then, or should I go for Manglik?
Okay. Yes, Manglik, please.
Okay. Namo Oriendanang, Namo Siddhanang, Namo Airyanang, Namo Vajjanang, Namo Loe Savva Savanang, Eso Panchanamokaro, Savva Pav Panasano, Mangalanam cha savesi padamavam mangalam. Sarvamangal mangalyam sarva kalyana karanam. Pradhanam sarva janmanam. Jainam jayati sasnam. Jainam jayati sasnam. If there are any transgressions in my saying against Jinvani, I bow and ask for the forgiveness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bipin Bhai. This was a very enlightening, and I hope everybody takes something from today's lecture. Good night.
Thank you.